Hey everybody, it's Kat. Today I'm going to tell you about my birth story. So, everyone always told me, you're too little to get pregnant and have a baby. There's not going to be any room, but they were wrong. I got pregnant and everything was fine. All the way through, basically. Almost. We'll get to that. And I was active. I played ball, tossed the football around, went swimming, jumped off small cliffs, into the water. Everything was fine. And the doctor said I was perfectly healthy, and so was Mackenzie. At exactly 37 weeks, like on the dot, 1 a.m., my water broke. So I called the doctor, and of course they're like, "Are you sure? How can you not be sure?" So I went in, and everything was fine. I was going through, dilating my centimeters with no pain medication, and I was doing great. I was so proud. So about 6.5 centimeters, the nurse came in, and they said that Mackenzie had went to the bathroom, and it was strange. So they said they wanted to do a sonar. They brought one in and found out that Mackenzie was coming butt first. She was frank breeched, is where her feet are behind her ears, and so from 6.5 centimeters to 8 centimeters, they were stopping my labor. At 8 centimeters, they completely stopped my labor. I still had no pain medication, and they had already given me potassium before to speed up the labor. So 8 centimeters, no pain medication. I'm going in for a C-section. I'm very disappointed at this point, and I'm so high on pheromones, no medication, but I believe it's pheromones, and it's fuzzy, I don't remember much. So I go in, and they strap me down, they put, the straps on her wrist, and the surgery didn't take long, the C-section was over, and they had Mackenzie out in no time. And at first I was scared, because you see on TV and places, the babies come out, and they just crying and screaming, and it's great. When Mackenzie came out, and I didn't hear her crying, and I started freaking out, and I was talking to my husband, what's wrong, and all of a sudden, everybody got quiet, and you heard this little bitty sound like a puppy. It was like, like a puppy. It was so cute. And so she was fine, and I got to see her for a second, and then her and my husband had to leave, and he got to go and do the baths and the first feeding and watch all that. And I didn't, because I don't know anything after that point, really. I know that they sewed me back up and done everything, and my body temperature had dropped, and they couldn't get my body temperature up to normal. So I woke up about 5 to 7 hours later. I hadn't seen my daughter, so I never got to hold her. And I woke up hours later under tons, like probably 4 or 5 blankets actually, and they had told me what happened, and there was people there, friends and family, and they had all held Mackenzie, and I still hadn't held her, and not until my sister came in actually, and I was talking, and I said, I haven't even got to hold my baby, and so she of course took her and gave her to me, and I couldn't really do much from the morphine and everything, but that was not until probably 7 hours of her life. I didn't even hold her or touch her or kiss her, and it was very disappointing. I wish I had known and been prepared, and I had more of an option. I wish I had have been more in my mind than, so that I could try to control things. It's very regrettable, but she's very healthy. She has no problems whatsoever. She's small like me, but it was difficult. After I had her and brought her home, I went to my 6-week doctor's appointment after you have a child, and they told me I had postpartum depression, and I wasn't very nice to the doctor. I blamed her, of course. She always said, you're not going to have the baby early, everything's fine, I can feel the head, and I ended up, having the C-section, not knowing Mackenzie was coming, but first, and I blamed her. She wasn't even there. She went on vacation. anyways, she just basically said, I'm going to put you on medicine because you're depressed. So I got on a medicine called Csection, and it did pretty good. So, I mean, I guess I was depressed, but, I mean, I was depressed because I feel like I was gypped, you know. I missed out on that birth that I wanted, and I won't be able to have any more children, so she will be my one and only. I won't get any more chances, and, I went through depression, and it didn't last long. I mean, there was a time with postpartum depression, I remember my husband had to leave, because he had been staying with me, helping me, because with the C-section I couldn't do anything. It wasn't a very good C-section, and it actually didn't heal properly, so I wasn't able to do anything, but he had to leave, and Mackenzie started crying, and I was just, didn't know what to do for some reason, and I remember sitting in the floor holding her, and she was crying, and I was crying, and it was really bad, but things got better, and Mom's stuff is just fine now. Everything's fine. But that's my birth story, or Mackenzie's birth story. And any questions, just comment. Bye.